All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. You made it to yet another Friday. My name's Kevin DeLong, founder of Cyber Social Hub. If you've not heard of what Cyber Social Hub is before, well, it's kind of a cool thing. What it is just think of it like a LinkedIn and Facebook ish for digital investigators, cybersecurity professionals, enthusiasts, tinkerers, whatever. Come in if you're trying to figure out how to pull some information out of data, or you're investigating something actively, come on in, sign up. It's free. Obviously, nothing's ever free. We're going to send you some emails occasionally from some of our partners, things like that. You can always opt out of that if you want to. Entirely up to you. If you guys don't know who I am, so hello everyone who has popped in here. Man, when I popped in earlier, it was a lot more people. I think everyone bailed when we went live. We sent that email out a little earlier, I think, than normal. I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff today. How to hide yourself on the it is Friday, Sam. How to hide yourself on the internet if you're conducting investigations. Now, obviously, there are you can use this for bad. We don't ever recommend that, right? Don't use it for bad. Use it for good. Use your powers for good. If you're investigating something, or maybe you just want to surf around with without a million trackers tracking you or people knowing where you're at, you can absolutely do that. You're Legion. You're already going to know what I'm going to talk about then. So for the most part, but welcome, man. I really appreciate you guys popping in. I use a VPN when I travel a lot, just because the types of conferences that I go to, and nothing's 100% foolproof. We know that, but you do your best, what you can to limit yourself. It's funny, the big conferences, DEF CON, Black Hat just got done in Vegas a few weeks ago, and a lot of the people I know went to it. I did not get to go, nor have I ever been to one, which I really want to go. But they're stripping out their phone. They're like getting a burner phone essentially to take with them. It's kind of funny to see how all that stuff pans out. Hey, I want to show you guys real quick what Cyber Social Hub is. If you've not seen it, I think I have it popped up over here in this other screen. Hey, look at that! I do. So this is it. This is the live site as it exists now. I'm signed in. I was on a test account. We do have apps on Google Play and the App Store. Don't download those yet. I think the latest update caused some bugs in these, and I'm trying to push some more out now, and then I have to go through the review process yet again for the App Store and Google Play. But we'll have those back up and running here within, it should be less than 5 days. It takes for those. That's the longest normally, just to get an update through. The quickest is same day, man. Sometimes they just get it right through, and I plan to put that through later today. So as you can see, it's people just asking questions, right, about various things. That's all it is. And there's groups. If you guys want to join some groups, you can absolutely go in here, and all is free. Again, all is free. And if you guys want a group specifically for something that you're really good at or something that you're interested in, let me know. We'll create the group. We had this open for the public to create whatever group that they wanted to. And well, you can imagine it got a little out of control. So we had to, oops, wait, I'm not showing this. I forgot I'm in preview mode. Hang on. Let me publish this. And let me go back to live mode on this. There we go. Now you guys can see it. So these are the groups and stuff that you can join right in here. And here is the hub feed, and it's just people asking questions. So I'm going to go back and repeat myself a little bit because I wasn't in broadcast mode. I forgot I had it in preview mode. Sorry about that. It's in case I accidentally hit a button on my Stream Deck and it all goes crazy. At least it gives me a heads up what's about to do. This is Cyber Social Hub, so hopefully you guys can join and contribute to the community. There's all types of folks in here. All we ask is everybody's respectful for one another, and that's really the main rule, right? That's it. So let's talk about some things today. What I want to do is, again, show you how to use Kali Linux. Now, you can use just about anything to do this. It's a little bit more of a difficulty on setup on some of it if you're not a fluent Linux user. And this is just one of many ways. Now, also keep in mind that nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100%. Now, obviously, I'm former law enforcement. I 15 years doing technology crimes. So that's kind of the angle that we we put at it. No, Legion, it's not a hacker forum. That's a great question. However, see, that's just an interesting word, and I think maybe Sam might agree with me in there. Hacker is just an interesting term because, even though my background again is in law enforcement, we're all tinkerers. We're all trying to break stuff to figure out how it works so we can pull information out of it. It's just the label that you put on yourself. That's the way I look at it, and the way you handle things. So it's not a hackers forum by any means, but it is a place where you can find answers that hopefully you can ask a question. Someone will know the answer. If not, someone may go in and dig that up for you. And I apologize if you guys can hear the echo in this room today. I pulled my sound booth, which used to sit like right next to me. It was just off camera. You couldn't see it, but it was big. It came all the way out and it's covered in, absorbing material, sound absorbing material, and it cut down the echo. And then I moved it because the office is about to get a full redone, redo, not redone. So I'm starting to pull stuff out of here, and now it sounds like a cavern. So I apologize if you guys can hear that. It drives me absolutely bonkers. And one of the things real quick that I did want to talk about, and because it's literally going on last second before we get into the nuts and bolts of it. I know I don't like to talk fluff ahead of time, but we kind of have to in this case because this is literally coming up. The hotel discount on PFIC conference, if you're not going, it's down to right now. You can get a room for $159 a night. You can book a room. And where this is at, let me get rid of this pop-up here. It's in Nashville this year, and it's just a digital forensic conference, cybersecurity type conference, OSINT type conference in Nashville. If you want to go, I will give you tickets. You do have to book your hotel. You do have to obviously pay for your food, stuff like that. But I will give you tickets to this. I have several to give away. It's on the website too. If you come into cybersocialhub.com, if my pop-up's working right, it was acting all funky, you can just sign up there as well. And I'll make sure you get tickets for this. We've given a couple away already, but if you guys want to show up in there, then you absolutely can. Just let me know. Tickets are on Cyber Social Hub. You can absolutely have them. So there you go. Sam, ethical hacking. So yeah, there we go. You can see we're sponsored. But again, the rooms are like I think the 29th. So that's like what, Monday night, Tuesday morning, something like that. If you guys are watching this live, if you're not, and you catch this maybe on the weekend, still go fill out that form, or you can go to cybersocialhub.com and fill out the contact form. I'll get those emails and I'll make sure the conference gets your stuff right away. Book your room because they go up to some crazy, ridiculous Nashville price after that. So I wanted to break that out to you guys ahead of time so you knew that it was existence. Okay, so I'm just curious here, out of everybody kind of hanging out today, welcome. And I see Legion and Sam are kind of the only people active in chat, man. I like to keep chat active. So if you guys got questions, if you want to talk, then by all means, please do. I'm going to be honest, this was like kind of a last minute throw together here. It's something I've had been working on the last couple of weeks because I was going to make a how-to video out of this. But then my guest's family got sick and he could possibly have gotten sick. So we just played it safe and rescheduled him for another time. That I was supposed to have another guest on. And I figured, well, hey, why not just show this live? What can go wrong, right? Absolutely nothing can go wrong with showing something live, especially if you're showing it in a virtual environment. Yeah, it's going to be good. So there's no personal information going to be shown in here. And that's what I worry about. I like showing a lot of the OSINT stuff is pulling down data and YouTube saying, hey, you're bad. We're going to give you a strike. And then, bad things happen to my account. We've worked really hard to get and build up the followers we have on this site. So again, you guys, thank you. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you like what we're talking about, go ahead and hit like. If you don't, you can tell me that too. We'll try to make the content better for you. It's something you're looking for. And I think there's a little bell. Again, I'm an old dude, so YouTube's one of those things with me. You can subscribe to that whenever we put new videos or whenever we go live. It will notify you. But generally, it's Friday, about 2:00 Eastern is when we do that. Okay, now I am done with the fluff. At least I think I'm done with the fluff. So how many of you guys, hey, Ron, how are you, man? I just saw that you're in there. So, yeah, I do. It's like Sam. So Sam's saying it's interesting to talk around YouTube filters. It absolutely is. It makes it pretty interesting, and for sure. Anyway, it's kind of like I used to teach some software, right? I don't want to call any software out, but you had to teach around the buttons that we know would crash it, and it didn't necessarily work. And as a former past job of mine, but yeah. Anyway, what it is. It happens. So we're used to talking around things. So what I want to show you guys is how to keep your identity to yourselves, right? And what I mean by that is if you're looking at a particular target, it's real easy for that target to be able to identify you. If we, sorry, I'm moving to the content. I know you can yell at me. I'm sorry. Was it Nito? I'm sorry. I'm getting to it right now. And so if you're checking a target, then obviously if it's their server or something that they're watching logs on, or they have access to the logs, they can see who's accessing it, right? And they can track this right back to you. Say you're just running a simple Nmap scan or Nmap scan, excuse me, or whatever it is that you're doing, gathering information about them, visiting their site, doing some recon on some things, whatever. Then obviously your server, your location, or your IP address is going to leave a note for them in their logs. And you don't necessarily always want that, especially if you're conducting an investigation on this or just doing some recon on this. So whether it's for OSINT, because it's very big in OSINT as well. So if you're checking social media accounts, just trying to gather information about the person, you don't want to leave your footprints all over the place. And you do. I mean, it's all over the place. Now, I want to preface this by saying there's nothing that's 100%, because if someone with some skill and the power of search warrant subpoenas, it's possible they can find you. One of the methods I'm going to show you makes it a little bit more difficult, but then there's some issues sometimes getting information from web servers, because the web servers could just block you right away as soon as they see the type of traffic that's coming in. And that's what's been my experience. I'd like you guys to talk about your experience as well. If you're using like Tor at all, if you're using any kind of proxy chains. Is anyone using proxy chains or anything right now? Just say yep, I am, or whatever in chat. But that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with Kali Linux that just logged out. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just get right to it now. Let me slide right over here. There we go. It's not sharing the whole screen, but you guys get the point. Up here is it's just missing the menu bar, which you can kind of see if I drop down. It's Kali Linux, right? And not really a big thing for you guys to be missing out on. But what I want to show you is how to do this with Kali Linux, and really just the default of Kali Linux. So my Kali screen's over here. Because they have output nodes. That's interesting, Legion. I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways and show you specifically about the proxy chain method of it and how you can set up. Now, this is a little bit past the scope of this video, but I actually created some proxy servers just for this show, just so I can show you examples, right? But I'm also going to show you a list of also open available ones, which all you have to do is Google it. It's really simple to do. But I want to show you the steps on how to set this up in your system so that not necessarily the FBI, because that's, it doesn't matter. If you're doing stuff that the FBI is interested in watching you, you probably shouldn't be doing it. That's just my opinion on it. But you guys, hey, we're all adults. I hope so, but do as you will. But that's the warning. Use for the powers of good. So here with this, since I have this open, it's really simple. Now, by default, Kali Linux has proxy chains installed, right? It has it installed, so you don't have to do a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just open a command line here, and you can see literally this is the default version of Kali that I have installed. If you've ever installed this before and get the username Kali and Kali out of that, then that's it. But what I want to do is I want to locate where my proxy chains file is at. I want to know where that's at. So it's simple. You just type in locate, and we're going to look for, whoops, I cannot talk and type at the same time. So when you hear silence, it's me chatting. So there it is. So this is going to go through and find all these proxy chain things here. I'm going to show you where mine is right here. So this first one is Etsy Proxychains 4.conf. That's what I want right there, because that's the configuration file for Proxychains. It's already installed. If you don't have it installed, say you're not using Kali Linux, you can easily just install this. It's an apt-get install Proxychains. If not, just do a quick Google search on it and you'll find it. But since we already have it installed in here, I'm going to go ahead and edit this. So I use Nano. I don't know about you guys. If you're a VI, Vim user, whatever, Apples, whatever, it will update this for you. So proxy, oops, hang on. There it is. Proxy chains. See, I can't type and talk at the same time. I don't know why I'm even attempting it. There we go. That's the file I want. Nope. I thought I did. Okay, so here it is. Here is the configuration file for this within Kali, and it's like I said, it's built in. This is a default install. There's nothing special here. Now, what we do need to note here is that there is 3 different ways that you can run a proxy. There's this thing right here. Let me get my mouse because it's like massive for some reason on the share. It's not on my normal screen, but that's okay. Right here, it's called dynamic chain is one of them. Strict chain is active by themselves already by default. Come on, mouse. I'm using Mac, and it's Magic Mouse, and it doesn't always want to do this. I might use my down arrow. And there's another one called round robin chain. I think they actually added one more. Yeah, called random chain in here. So there's 4 now. So my bad. There are 4. So those are the 4 that we can deal with. I personally like to deal with dynamic chain. What strict chain is say you're using, and what we're going to do here is we're going to use multiple proxy servers in a chain, right? So just essentially, I don't have any pretty graphics to line this up. We're just going to start here, and then we're going to connect to this proxy server number 1. And then from there, we're going to go from this proxy server to another proxy server. And then from this proxy server, we can keep going to another one, as many as you'd like along your chain. Now, obviously, the more proxy servers that you use, the better you're hidden, right? Because all servers have logs, and it's not hard for anyone to, if they can get access to that server, to go through those logs. Is it going to be huge time consume? Yes, because then they have to track multiple proxy servers, find the IP address from the previous proxy server, and track back. Can it be done? Absolutely can be done. Nothing's 100%, but just be aware that it can be done. So with this, I'm not going to go in a strict chain. So what strict chain is that if I'm using a series of proxy servers and any one of those are down or not functioning properly, then it doesn't use the chain. What dynamic does, which we are going to use, so I'm going to uncomment that right there. And then I'm going to go right over here and comment strict chain out. So it's not there. So what dynamic chain does is that if it's using a long string, as many proxy servers as you want to put in this line, if any one of them are bad, doesn't matter. It'll skip over that and go to the next one. Then it'll try that one. If that one's bad, it skips it and goes to this one. So it'll connect from the one that was previously working to the next one in line that's working. So you can kind of multi-layer yourself. So that's a very good way to do this. So I'm going to stay with this one here, and let me come on down. Now there's a lot of different settings in here. Round robin, that's a kind of a sales term, but it just selects who's next in line that we can do that. But here we go. Yeah, Legion, that's a great point. And I think I have a note to mention that, but I'm going to mention it right now since you brought it up here, is that you don't know who owns that proxy server and what they're collecting. You don't know what they're doing on that end. So always use a system that you trust, right? Use a system that you trust. And that's why I just built my own. And that way I trust them. I built these things. I know what's running on them. And it can do it. And if you're conducting an investigation and you need to know how to do that, let me know, and I will show you how to do that. Maybe that's a separate video for sure. But let's come on all the way down here. So this one is on by default. This is an important one here because you're also going to have all of your DNS routed through the same proxy. We want this to make sure that this is active, which it is, and not commented. So it is here by default. Just always check this. And we're going to run through a couple things here. So I'm not going to talk about a lot of this, but there's some great information. I'll tell you what, the notes in this thing are really pretty good. I was really impressed with this as I started digging through here. Usually it's just a bunch of settings and you got to go digging for this. So the Proxychains did a really good job of at least explaining most of what this is. Yes, I'm still clicking because I really want to get down to the bottom of it. Okay, I want to go right here. So this right here is what you see, these examples. Again, these are examples of how to attach to your proxies. Now, if you have a proxy server that has a username and password, that's what you're seeing here. Username, password right here. Username, password for this particular one. Now, Proxychains supports all kinds of different proxy types. I think it's listed right in here. It is. So it'll do HTTP, SOCKS 4, SOCKS 5, and RAW. So that's awesome, right? That it's able to do all of those things. And you can put them in any combination. You don't have to use, say, hey, you only can use, 5 or 4. Nope, you can mix and match them. It's really a nice service that do that. Yeah, in plain text. Yeah, because obviously this file is stored on your local machine, Ron. I don't know how this is transmitted. In all honest, I haven't tested anything with a username and password before. That's a great question. I will check it out because I don't have the answer for you. If someone knows when it transmits this stuff out, that'd be awesome. Kind of relay that because I hadn't set any up. So by default, this is all, again, a default setting that you guys are seeing here. By default, this is set up for SOCKS 4, and you can see it's doing a loopback right here to the local machine, right? It's dialing just home, and it's using 9050. Now that's the Tor port. If you're familiar with Tor at all, it's going to use Tor, and it actually, just if you look a line above it, it says it. It says, hey, these defaults are set for Tor. Okay, awesome. I want to do that. So that's the first way I'm going to show you how to do this. Is I'm going to just go, and then I'm going to say SOCKS 5 here, and I'm going to do the same 127.0.0.1 space 9050. Yes, I have to say what I'm talking because otherwise, whatever. You can put spaces in between these two or tab, but whatever you do, just stay consistent with obviously the way that you're doing that. So there, I'm just going to leave it right like that and not mess. So since I'm using a dynamic, it'll connect to one and then try to connect to the other as we go through this. So that's it. Now, you don't have to have the Tor browser. I know this may confuse some people that really, and like me, I'm not a Tor expert by any means. I pull on other folks that are much more fluent than I am in that type of stuff. But what we're going to use is the Tor service, not the Tor browser itself, in order to do this. So I'm going to exit out of this, and it's simply a Control X at this point. And do you want to save the file? I'm going to hit Y, and it says, yeah, is this the file that you want to save? It is, and I hit return or enter, depending on what type of machine that you're on. And that's really it. It's that simple to do. So what we want to do now then is we need to install the Tor, the Tor service. I'm popping my microphone. I apologize for that. And I just really hate when that happens. And I'm just kind of browsing back through my command right here. So several ways that you can do this. I'm just going to use the apt-get command to do that. So I'm just going to use apt-get install Tor. Really that simple, just like that. And it's going to install, again, the service. I'm going to hit Y to continue, yes. And it's going to install the Tor service here. So let's let that run as it goes through, because it's not installed by default on Kali, which I found kind of interesting that it wasn't. But now, once it gets through this thing, what we need to do is kind of test it, right? So now that it's through it, we need to test to make sure Tor is working. So I'm just going to go service, typing and talking, Kevin, Tor, and I'm going to go status on this. See, again, typing and talking. I'm just going to stay quiet and talk. It's impossible for me. And then I'm going to hit return here. Now you can see it's loaded, but it's inactive and dead. It's not running yet, and it's real easy to do this. Just go up here and type start. There it is. So it'll start the Tor service right up, and we'll ask you for your password. And this is just your password for your Kali instance. So that's all I did. So now that you can see that we have it, I'm going to hit the status here again, and you can see now that it's active, right? It's absolutely active and ready to rock and roll here. Okay, so what do we do now? What do we do? So now that Tor is running on our system, we've made sure Proxychains configurations ready to go. This is really simple from here. So all you do is you type any command ahead of time, and you type Proxychains. Now you can, there's other flags and stuff that you can do, which is a little bit beyond the scope of the video, but I'm just going to show you some basic stuff. I'm going to show you how to start up Firefox. You can use Nmap from here. You can use anything you can use from the command line. Multiple tools, and a lot of the stuff that I use is command line driven. So you can use this stuff right from here. Just lead with Proxychains. So I didn't test this yet, so I'm going to just go to, yeah, do I just want to open it? Yeah, I just want to open it here. So what it's going to do is open that, and it's going to go and pull up Firefox. Now, by default, it's going to go to a local file here, so it didn't reach out anywhere to the internet. But we can switch back and forth. Now, I know you can't really see this on the share here, and I apologize, but obviously just switch back over to your command line, and you can see what's happening here, right? You can see that, hey, we are indeed connecting. Even though it says denied here, it was denied here, but you know, we're still connecting other places. Okay, so let's go and check. I'm just going to run to google.com real quick and hit enter here and see where we end up. All right, so okay, I have no idea what this freaking says. So anyone that can help me was great. So I know I'm connected somewhere. I just don't know where that is right now, because this is a completely different language. And oh man, I can't remember which button it is to, I'm just going to hit one of those. There we go. All right, so yeah, I'm connected somewhere. I just don't know where I'm connected at. So I'm going to just say, what's my IP here? Because you can see I've done this search, or that's a popular one that's popped up. So there is my search. Yeah, no, I'm not a robot. It does suspect the traffic being suspicious. Man, I hate CAPTCHAs with a passion. That's just like the worst thing ever in the world. Now it's probably bicycles. Okay, so definition of a bicycle, I'm guessing in Europe is the same as here, and there's just not one there. All right, my traffic lights, again, sorry here. Sometimes this happens. This is why I'm going to show you the second way to do this. It's a lot easier. Obviously, I'm a twit and not getting all of this stuff because I've never had this many CAPTCHAs having to deal with it. And if it doesn't, I'm going to reconnect somewhere else where I don't have to deal with this. Holy crap, a moly. You guys see, I see a fire hydrant there, one there, one there. I guess we could just play a game the entire time of, hey, what does this look like? There's fire hydrant. It popped up there. I don't see any more. I can't see that. It's too small over there. I'm guessing it's not a fire hydrant. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to save. Hey, how are you going to save the stream? I'm not sure what your question is there. If you can elaborate that a little bit. So, hey, there we go. Boom. Finally, man, I got through like a million of those, but there it is. So here I am connected to wherever that is. I'm not sure where that is. So let's ask the question, where am I? And this one kind of sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, depending on where we're at here. All right, so it says my location somewhere in Europe. Oh, there we go. Oh, guys, I am sorry. My cultural, global culture is not that great. I have no clue what some of this stuff says. Um, do you mean like saving like the video itself? Is that what you're referring to here? Sorry, I just now saw. I wasn't sure what this was. We're going to save this live stream. Is that what the question? If so, yeah, it just stays on YouTube. We record these things, and that's the way they appear on our YouTube channel. You can either watch it from the hub or YouTube. Either way, it should be there. I didn't know if you met the stream I'm working on now. Sorry, I'm having a blonde day. It's just one of those things. So we can see where we're at here, and you can see it does not. Everyone knows me who knows I'm in Ohio, right? United States. Ohio is where I'm at. Definitely not anywhere near that. So it's got me pretty good there. So I can actually surf around and go to different websites here. I can go to Amazon.com. Nope. See, there I go. Amazon.com. I can go to multiple different sites and see, and you say, okay, that's great. You can go places in your web browser. Yeah, I know. I always wanted to be over there. It's Sweden. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Because I had no idea. I can't. Anyway, that's just me. So there it is. Let me say not to change this. Yeah, because there it is, Sweden. Thank you. So deliver to Sweden. Yes, I want to order something from Amazon and have it delivered to Sweden. So there we are. We're nice and hidden in here in our browser, and we can go about our way of doing some online investigations. Now, keep this in mind. It's only this browser that's being protected because of what we had started up, right? If we start other instances of Firefox, since we didn't start it from the command line using that Proxychains in advance of it, you may not be protected. So keep that in mind. And there's also one more thing I want to check here because I want to check my DNS. And I got to remember, I think it's called DNS leaks, I think, something like that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, DNS leak test right here. So what this looks for is your DNS requests. So it's not just your, wow, that's kind of ugly. HTML's not, or the CSS isn't going well. But it is confirming that my IP address, my DNS requests are coming from that Tor IP address as well. All right, so that's really how you do the Tor. It's pretty simple. And then from here, you can see all the requests that happen back and forth from our proxies to any site, any port that site is digging at and pulling stuff out. Now, this is interesting because you can go in here and tweak this a little bit in some of the settings and say, hey, I want it to block, any tracking cookies, things like that. There's all kinds of configurations, fun stuff that you can do in Proxychains, but a little bit beyond the scope of the video here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to Firefox, and now that I know I'm all protected here, boom, we can just shut that down and stop it. So now you can see that Proxychains is no longer running, and that if I go to what's my IP now, which I'm not going to do because it would be my real IP address or my location, it will show you exactly what it is. So you do have to make sure you're running the Proxychains in between there. All right, so something else I wanted to show you here. Sorry, I'm kind of poking around some of my show notes here that I have laid out. Let me go over here. Why isn't my show notes popping up? Oh, it's hidden behind my broadcast panel, and that seems to like to stay floating on top for whatever reason. Yeah, I can't even get to it. All right, hang on a second. I got to do some weird stuff here to bring this over somewhere else. Okay, there we go. Now I can get to my show notes at least now. Okay, any questions over what we've covered so far and the stuff that you've seen? No questions? All right, and then don't forget, we need to stop the Tor browser for this next part too. I made a note for myself because that was mainly for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the Tor, and we are going to stop the status of Tor. So I don't want that to run anymore. Again, it's going to ask for the password. Again, it's just a Tor service that allows us to go in and utilize the Tor network. And Proxychains helps push us into proxies into the Tor network, which makes it really nice. And then converts it out to obviously real HTTPS requests that will pull that data in. So we're going to confirm that it is stopped by going status, and it is an active and dead. So we're good there. So now, and one of the things I didn't show here, and I apologize, I should probably just start this back up and show some of the websites that you go to here. And I'm going to actually just pop up my picture real quick. I'm just going to start this right back up, and I'm going to show you. I'm using the exact same command that I did here before. I'm got to start Tor back up. Yeah, Proxychain is pretty safe. Just keep in mind, always, I want to tell you guys, and I can't stress this enough, be careful the places you're going, right? Now, with Tor, it is going through multiple proxies, but what you really want to do is you don't know what's on the other end of those, and that's what Audio Wave just asked there. If you guys can see in chat there, is it really safe? And my answer would be nothing's 100% safe. Just be aware that you can still leave some footprints because, again, I think, I can't remember, I think Legion mentioned this earlier, is that you don't know what's on that other end of that actual proxy server, right? You don't know what they're doing over there. You don't know if they're capturing your traffic. You don't know what's happening. So be aware of that. That's one method that I wanted to show you because it's quick, pretty easy, gets you through the Tor network, and you can move forward. Now, this one is the one that you can control. Now, I'm not going to show you everything because I set this up on my own AWS accounts. But there's a little service called Tiny Proxy that you can install. It's literally you have to just make sure you update apt-get update, and then you can apt-get install Tiny Proxy, and it will make any Linux server. I'm running some of these on Ubuntu, I think it is. Yeah, 20.04. Yeah, that's what it is, and boom, it turns the server into a proxy, and there's a million things you can do with it. I was playing with it for a couple of days. It's so much fun, but I just wanted to keep this in scope of what I want to show this for this anyway. But yeah, that's what we're going to show you here next. I'm going to go in here again and go back to Firefox because I want to show you guys something. If you try going to a specific website on Tor, sometimes if they have, I don't know, like word fence set up, if they have some type of firewall set up, and I went to one of the companies that I own here. Let me see here. Share. Where is it? Kali. There we go. Share Kali. So I browsed over to this Averi Solutions site, and you can see it's protected, right? So this is just blocked. Now, sometimes, now what caught it, Immunify 360 caught it, was the name of the software that caught this thing. And it will let me go through, I think, if I click this, but sometimes like WordFence will stop you, and it won't allow you to go any further. And there it goes with the CAPTCHA again. It just depends. So when you're surfing from the Tor, you may not be able to get like web surfing because a lot of the security that people are putting in place on their websites now are recognizing this type of traffic, and they're stopping it now from coming to their sites. So they don't necessarily always want that. So yeah, not always good. So I'm going to go back through and stop Tor again. So I just started it back up so I could show you some of that stuff, and be aware that it does happen, that it does stop you. Okay, so the next thing I want to start up is if you guys have, how many people you guys use like DigitalOcean? There's a bunch of these things out there. Linode, AWS is my flavor. That's just what I like to use. But I do have some stuff on, oh man, what's the other one that's out there? Anyway, there's a bunch of them, right, that you can go. Yeah, they do, Sam. It's funny. I know WordFence, which is a plugin for WordPress, and I know that server I just went to is a Plesk hosting site, and they have Immunify 360 installed, and it's protecting against it as well. So yeah, it is interesting that that's starting to happen now. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, Azure, you can do Azure too. Thanks, Ron. There's like a million different, anywhere you can spin up a quick instance of a server, you can create your own proxy servers. Now, with that being said, keep in mind you can be tracked back through this the same way that I explained earlier. But I'm going to show you a series of them. I'm going to jump in. Hopefully I didn't get logged out of my AWS account, which I'm not going to show, by the way. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this in Kali. And it's just called Tiny Proxy is the name of the install that you can do on any Linux. I literally went to, if you use Amazon Lightsail, which is like the EC2 for dummies, which I happen to like, by the way, is you can use that and it works just fine the same way. So I'm going to go back in here at the command line. Again, we're still using Proxychains because this is just awesome. There's other ways that you can do this. You can type in the proxy in your browser, but keep in mind you're only protected sometimes from browser traffic if you do that. So just keep in mind that this way that you can issue the command Proxychains up front, and then whatever tool that you run after this is running through those proxies. And you can confirm this. I would test this a million times because you can see right here in the printout, it's running through just one single proxy here, which is Tor essentially, and then running and collecting data and information from these from those sites. All right. No. So if you're doing this in an investigation, then which you should be doing this. This is the way that I do these things. I don't have to worry about people with the power of a search warrant coming to get this information, and I'll show you why, because that's really one of the ways that you can get it. If not, your server can be, maybe compromised. But man, it's going to take a lot of work on some of these if you have it set up right. So I'm going to go back to, so I'm trying to cheat here and just go back to here and edit my my Proxychains configuration. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, I'm going to leave it on dynamic chain because I want it left set up in a dynamic chain. Now, these servers that I'm about to show you, I'm going to keep them up for just an hour or two, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a challenge. You guys up for like a proxy type challenge to see if you guys can do this? I'll build brand new ones out because I'm going to shut these down, because obviously I'm giving you guys, we're going to see the IPs to these proxy servers here as I show them. So you can write them down, but literally I'm going to shut them off as soon as the broadcast is done. But what I'm going to do is create a challenge to show and see if you guys can connect to the first in a dynamic chain, right? So you connect to a proxy, which will then connect to a second proxy, which will then connect to a third proxy. And then I'm going to have you connect with maybe with Nmap, do a scan against a web server. Now, don't worry, these are all mine. So I'm giving full permission to do that, and I will on the instructions on the site to do that. And I want you to scan, do a port scan. Now, the only way that you can connect to the second proxy is if you're connected to the first. And the only way that you can connect to the third is if you're connected to the second. And then the only way you can scan that site that I'm going to have up and running for you guys is if you're connected to that third proxy. All right. I know that really was kind of like out there, but if you're able to scan, and you can message me in Cyber Social Hub or kick me an email or drop me a message in there. I will need a mailing box. I'll take PO boxes, whatever. I know a lot of people are privacy, but I have a bunch of these coins. I know, Sam, you probably already have one of these, but this is our digital investigator coin here, and I will give you one of these coins. And I think we'll probably limit it to maybe the first 20 people that achieve this, if 20 people even try. But I'll set up all the rules and stuff here soon on this challenge. And if you guys are on our mailing list, you'll get this. If not, I'll put it up inside Cyber Social Hub of what this is going to be. But here's the coin, and I'll happily send you one of these, to a PO box or wherever it is that you get mail. If you don't want to give me an address, that's fine too. I get it all too well. I have stuff sent to a PO box. myself. But let's go ahead and I'm going to stay on dynamic chain here, and I'm going to slide all the way down, all the way down. Again, to my my proxy list, which is down here. Let's see now if I can move around. Okay, I can. So these Tor ones by default, I'm going to shut these off. I'm just going to comment them out, and that's simply as putting a hash right there in front of it. And there it is. Now, I'm going to connect to a couple that I created. And again, you guys are going to have the IP addresses of these just for this. And you're welcome to try it for a couple seconds. But again, just keep in mind, I'm shutting these suckers down because the last thing I want someone to do is something they shouldn't be doing with my servers. And, you know, then the FBI will call me. So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to add an HTTP server. So I'm going to add HTTP. I like to use tab. I don't like to use just space. And the IP for this is 322.74.146. You know, I don't have this restricted by IP address. I probably should have done that. And then, oops, not a space, tab. And then we have to tell it what port. And this is the default port that Tiny Proxy connects to. So there's that one. So I just want to see if this one works really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here and yes, save that to the thing. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is simply just run that same command. I don't need Tor for this one. Tor is completely out of here. No, not always. That's a great question, DFS. That's why we're going to show you how to link these together. Now, with this being said, hold on. I have this, hang on. I did have something to share with you guys up here, and I wanted to make sure you saw this. Oh, what did I do with that thing? It's a list essentially of, there it is right here. It's spy ones. Here, I'll just post this into the chat, so you guys should be able to copy this out of here. And I'm going to show this to you as well right now. I'm going to jump over to Chrome real quick. So here is a list too. If you just want to do straight proxies and don't want to build your own, you can do this. Here's a list. It's, whoops. Oh, hello. Kevin didn't have this locked. So now it's going to go all over the place. Let me lock that scene. So now you can see just these lists of proxies, and it tells you where they're located, their uptime, things like that. And it does a check on these things. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And it gives you the proxy type here. And that's the URL for them. And you can tell that I've been looking at All Bird Shoes because I love them. And then I'm really looking forward to the Game of Thrones stuff. So yeah, you can see that I'm not serving privately here. That's definitely my stuff. And it will just show you some of the list of them that are out there. And it keeps some of the things up to date. Now, I've had hit or miss with these, but you can Google it too, like free proxy servers, stuff like that you can connect to. And it's out there. Some of these are, you know, again, what they are. And you can just add these in a list. Say we started right here and just started adding this first one, and we went down and added all, what is this, about 20-ish maybe of them, close to it. But if we added them all, it would literally go down and try to link all of them. Since we're using dynamic, say like 2 or 3 didn't work here in the middle, that's okay. It'd skip them and still got going through these. And it would eventually get to the end of the list. And hopefully there's like maybe 5 of them working for you, and you'd still be layered 5 deep in here. And that's what we're kind of going to show how to do with the ones that I've created. I tested some of those on there. Some of them, I'll tell you right now, just flat out don't work. Some of them work, and they work great. But keep in mind, your speed is severely affected when you're doing these things. That's just the way it is. So now that we're back here, we have one of my proxy servers going, right? So let's go ahead and just, I'm going to try to attach to that thing. Fingers crossed that it works. I'm going to jump out to google.com, and hopefully it's working. I'm going to slide over here. Yeah, this live session, Philip, I'm going to post it to, I'll leave it here on YouTube as well. So it's just down here in the Hubcast section. I think, yeah, this is a Hubcast, so we'll show it in the Hubcast section, and then we'll also be in Cyber Social Hub. We just embed the YouTube is all we do. So you can see here that it is indeed connecting. It's a timeout on this one. I'm getting some timeouts here because I was down here messing around. But that's all you have to do is to get this. I think this is going to time out too because I was in here playing around, and now I got to go fix my servers on here. But again, you can just go through here and lay these things out all you want. I got to go check this server real quick because it's blocking all of my traffic now, unfortunately. So let me scroll over here. Which one is this that I'm trying to get to? It's this one here. The joys of doing this live are always fun here. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect to that server via SSH on another system here. Oop, not that one, this one, and see why it's messing up on me. No, so on this one, Sam, on this way that you're seeing right here, it is not going through Tor at all. On this one. So what I'm doing is I'm jumping into just proxies that I've done here. So that I've set up. Literally just go spin up an instance, load it, and I got to stop this because it's not working right on here. As you can clearly see, it's not functioning. So hopefully on the next iteration it will die. If not, I'm gonna have to stop this, restart this because it'll get stuck. There we go. I gotta go see real quick what's happening with my my tiny proxy here. So again, it's called Tiny Proxy, and let me see here. Yeah, if you guys want to see this configuration, I can show this real quick. Let me switch this over. Why's everything got to be evil in this live broadcast mode today? There we go. Let me go over to terminal. There we go. So I'm logged into one of the tiny proxies. You can see I'm editing the tiny proxy configuration file. Well, you can't see that, but that's what this is here. And it's just telling me all the binds, how the timeout, and you can set your own proxies like a million different things. And this is fun. I love tiny proxy. Just a little bit I've played with it is a lot of fun here. So as you can see, as we get down through here, I'm accepting all hosts here currently. And you know what? I'm just going to comment this out in case this is causing an issue. This is let me get rid of that. So I'm going to accept all from all hosts. And then I have commented out. I have it named Tiny Proxy. And then what else do we have here? We should have all of the connect ports out, because if no connect ports are found, then all are allowed. That's exactly what I want. I was messing with this just before I went live. And of course it stopped working. So yes, save it. And then I am going to restart that service, which takes about a second. And then I'm going to flip back over here to our VM, and we'll give this a shot again. All right, so let's go ahead and try this again. And this is the one, I'm pretty sure this is the one that it's connecting to. And we'll see if it is allowed to connect this time. Which, yeah, look at that, it did. So, okay, I had that chain set up wrong on that allow all. I was using like an EC2 default allow all 00 dot whatever, and just commented out and it works just fine. So we can see this now that it's working. And so google.com. So it should jump over to google.com, and I'm really hoping that it's pulling my not the IP here. I'm gonna, just in case this didn't work, since I changed this configuration, I'm going to pull this away because, well, you know, it's just the crowd that I'm dealing with. It's not that I don't love and trust all you guys, but Sam's here, and, you know, that's the way it is. All right. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm just going to go back and share you guys right away. Callie, there it is. So again, it shows my IP address, which is the IP address of that proxy server, which is setting on AWS. So there it is, right there. I don't know if it can. I'm not familiar with that. My thing is with test it. Is that a command line driven, or does it start up a command? That particular tool? If it does, then I would say yes. But everything, I test everything like a million times over just to make sure. So anyway, real quick back to this. I have that working for one, right? I want this to work for both of these now, right? So I'm going to go back into that chain, right? So I'm just going back and edit my configuration for that Proxychains one last time. And it's clear at the bottom. And I'm sorry, I'm on a VM. I can't go quick to the bottom of this stuff. So we just have to bear with it and scroll. There we go. So I'm going to add one more to the chain, HTTP, tab, and let me go grab the IP of this one. Okay. So again, you guys get to all see these here temporarily. But again, I'm taking these things down. So if you're watching the recording of this, then these servers probably will not be back up when you do it, and I'll have the other ones posted that you guys can play around with. Okay, so there we go. Exit, yes, save it. Is all I did is, again, Control X and then hit Y and then hit return. We'll get you out of there. And I'm going to go back in here and start Firefox up. And all I've done was told it here, hey, when you start Firefox up, go to Google. That's just going to save me a little bit of typing. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Let's see if this works here. So these two proxies. I posted a list earlier. This is a great question here. Is where do you get your proxies from? There's a list I posted, if you scroll up in chat here, of some of the ones that are there, but these two specifically I built through AWS. Let me see if these are working. Are they connecting here? They're trying to. The socket's timing out. I may have the same issue I had with that other one because I was in there farting around with the configuration and I shouldn't have been. Shame on me. So let me go and fix this one real quick too. Real quick, I'm going to log out of that server and log into this one over here. All right, and let me go edit this configuration file. And yeah, I can, again, I'll share this because I don't want you guys to be completely bored. These are just the configuration files within the tiny proxy. These are what I know you do got to be careful, Ron. So again, I'm again, this is just a little Ubuntu server that I spun up on. I think it's a 512 megs of RAM. It's not even a big server at all. But what I want to do here is, yep, there it is. See, that's the same mistake I made. That's just me messing around. Oops, not double continent there. Let's do it there. There, that will fix it. So there it is. Let me make sure that I have all of I have it named proxy 2. Again, I just spun up 2 instances, installed tiny proxy, which is really easy. Yep, there we go. That will fix it. So yes, we're out of there. And then I'm going to jump back here to Kali on this end and show you guys how we're jumping from one to the other. And you can do as many as you want in here, which is really, really nice. So here we go. Oh, wait, I got to restart this, the instance of tiny proxy over here since I changed the config file. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing and fire this thing off. And it should be able to reach out to all of them and get connected. Okay, now there it goes. Boom, there's Google. So what is my IP? Oh, now where am I at? Okay, I'm somewhere different now, right? Because if we look here, I want you to see this. So I connected to the first one. Since we did dynamic in there, here's the first proxy server. The first proxy server, then Proxychains says connect through here, then jump over to this other proxy server, go through there, then go out to the internet. So we can have as many servers as we want in between. So keep in mind, if you're doing an investigation and you're worried about leaving a trail, go through like 5 or 6 of these things. Is it going to slow you a little bit? Yeah, probably a little bit. Most definitely a little bit. But, to find you back, you're going to have to go through each proxy. Can it be done? For those of you out there thinking, oh, I can do anything on the internet now and get away with it. No, because you're still leaving a trail, right? It's not as easy as a trail to go through all of the log files on each one of those servers, but it can absolutely be done. And then finding you is a little challenging as well. Or you can, there's other ways to do it. You can connect to different proxies and jump back and forth the proxies back and forth, a bunch of different ways. This is just one that I was going to show you, and you can put as many as you want in between there. And as you can see that, I don't even know where I am. Where am I? Here on this one. Excuse me. Maybe if it comes up, you'll be able to see where I'm at. Again, you can see that it does indeed slow you down because it's making all the requests here. It's still trying to request stuff from Google Ads. I mean, it's doing all of this this stuff in between, and it's eventually going to come up with data. All right. Did I type what am I? Oh, I did. See, that's what I get for talking and typing at the same time. Is that a boy band? Really? Sam, are you familiar with them? Maybe Ron. Ron, do you like this boy band? Anyway, sorry. Those are regulars, guys. I like just giving them a rough time. I didn't mean who. Gosh, dang it. You guys aren't like having my back very much here. And I'm like going through all the investigator questions. What, who, where? It's where am I, right? Because we're trying to find a location of where I'm at. Oh man, it's Friday, right? So here I are on Google Maps, and sure enough, I'm in Stockholm. I'm in Sweden right here, and that's exactly where I set this up in AWS. I said, hey, pick a server over there, and get it. And all I have to do now is spin it down, and then that server's gone. Are there logs still left behind afterwards? I don't know, probably. I've never had to actually get information from a server that was shut down in AWS before. But again, these are my servers. I control these, and then I can add as many as I want. They cost me $3.50 for a month to run one. I can set like 5 or 6 up, do my investigation, shut them right back down, and not even pay the full amount for the month. You don't have to buy it for the whole month. AWS charges you by the hour, right? So you pay a small fee, and then on you go. So that is it. That's really how you do it. I'm going to shut this down. And then if you wanted to see what I started there, then if you wanted to, do some Sly stuff and, check on, I don't know, some different commands that you want to run within Google. Hold on. I'm just going back to my notes here to go pull some stuff out of here. Here we go. I'll just pull this quick one out of here as a command. I don't have to worry about all the craziness. Is it going to go through my VM? Hopefully. No. All right, hold on. Paste clipboard. There we go. So now I'm going to run just an nmap. You see how I have my proxy chains on there in advance, right? So always lead with proxy chains. So I'm going to run nmap against google.com. And you can see it's going to run, excuse me, through all of the proxy chains within here, within proxy chains. So it's not going outside, because if I'd run this outside of that proxy chains, then we'll absolutely figure that out. And again, I'm getting a timeout on here. So I'll show you how, again, setting up my own proxy server is going to be a different video absolutely altogether. But you can connect to these things and run all of these right through there. Again, ignore my error. I have a configuration error in there, and I'm noticing it's 3 o'clock. I like to keep these feeds right at an hour of these streams. But I think if you guys are interested, I can do a how-to video on how to set up your own proxy server, and it'll be good for all of the different services that you like. And it is 100% good to go. With keeping you semi anonymous. Anyway, always, again, remember, I never guarantee anything 100%. So if you guys liked it, I would really appreciate if you would go ahead and just slam that like button real quick. If the information was good and want to see more stuff, we take requests. I'm like the OSINT cyber DJ, right? If you guys want to see something, let me know. If I know about the topic, I'll do it. If I don't, I'll get somebody that knows a lot more about it than anything else. So if not, guys, again, join Cyber Social Hub. It's free. A lot of resource. Everybody's in there real friendly because we kind of just treat each other with respect. And again, it's all walks of life. We got everyone from law enforcement that's in there to the legal community, corporate community, private folks that just learning about this stuff and want to know more about it. You're all welcome in there as long as everyone treats people good. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, good, Joe. I will maybe make that video up as soon as I get my own configuration set right on my own proxies, which I'm about to take down here now in just a second. But hey, also look for the challenge. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video, not right away, it'll probably be in the next 20 minutes or so, to the challenge, right? Where you can hop from proxy server to proxy server and then get specific information, but you have to do everything correctly. I'll provide the instructions. I'm not going to be kind of a twit and not provide instructions, but I'll do that. And again, we're going to be giving away our Cyber Social Hub. Cover my eyes here because it's an eye tracking thing. There we go. Of this coin that we had made. We'll give these things away. to you guys if you want to provide me again, you can be a PO box, a mailing list of some types, or maybe your neighbors and just watch their mail. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But if you want to stay private, I never sell or give away anyone's information. It's just the way it is. It's locked down. The only way people are going to get it is if I get issued a legal paper, because I have to do it at that point. Other than that, guys, look for that challenge. We're going to connect to, I think it's going to be 3. I think we'll do 3 proxy servers and then get to a website and then maybe scan that website with Nmap and then tell me what your results, and that's the way it's going to be, because that's the easiest way to do. All right, guys, other than that, thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the little bell to be notified as future events, and join Cyber Social Hub. Again, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week for our next Cyber or our Hubcast. Guys, talk to you then. Thanks, guys, so much.